Hi, I'm Matt, the Community Manager at MyMiniFactory, and I'm here to tell you about everything that's new on the site this April. The big news for April is that MyMiniFactory is one of the main sponsors of Ludiverse. Ludiverse is a brand new convention happening for the first time in Paris this April. It's happening on April the 18th and the 19th, and it's the first event organised by the team over at the French Wargame Studio, which is one of the internet's biggest French-speaking tabletop RPG skirmish game YouTube channels. MyMiniFactory is going to have an enormous dedicated area. We've invited a bunch of our top creators from our platform, YouTubers. We have a dedicated keynote speaker area where there'll be talks and panels throughout the day. You can visit the little pop-up stands from your favourite creators and learn more about how 3D printing fits into the world of tabletop gaming. Tickets are available now, and we are incredibly excited for this opportunity and look forward to seeing some of you there at the event. Now, in my opinion, one of the most exciting things launching this April is Paizo Printables. This is a collaboration between Paizo, the group that make the hugely successful Pathfinder RPG system, MyMiniFactory, and Titanforge. Paizo Printables is a new tribe that is going to be launching actually today, as of day of recording, being the 2nd of April. People who join up will get access to the welcome pack, which has a whole slew of models. I just have a little in this tribe post about it. A whole bunch of models, including quite a lot of very cool looking dragons and iconic heroes in the welcome pack, but that's just for signing up. There's also the month of April's offerings, which we can find here. So a collection of monsters and heroes from April, including stat blocks. So it's not just the STL files that you're getting, there will be PDF adventures and stats. And yeah, from this it seems to be saying that you have 3-month thematic blocks. So for the first 3 months, all the models will be tied to one particular theme, and then a new theme of the next quarter. So over the 3-month period, you can build up this whole collection so you have enough to make one huge campaign. There's a whole bunch of other side benefits of joining the tribe, a whole bunch of discounts which are all outlined here in this particular post on the tribe. So we've got $10 off resin, 15% off the Paizo store, 50% off the Pathfinder starter, 50% off paints. This looks like it's paints from Turbo Dork. 50% off dice, thanks to a collaboration with Misty Mountain Gaming. 25% off their WizKids store for the pre-existing line of WizKids miniatures for Pathfinder, and 25% off Paizo.shop. So yeah, if you don't have access to a 3D printer yet, you can still get hold of the models from the store and make use of the discount from the tribe. I also understand that, like what we've done with some tribes in the past, that anyone who signs up to the $9.99 tier in the first month will also get $10 credit added to your account to spend on MyMiniFactory and at the Paizo store on MyMiniFactory. Like I said, this is something that I'm very excited about, and in fact, at some point this month I will be speaking with the team at Paizo about the journey into 3D printing and STLs, and to learn a bit more about what they have planned for the future of the Paizo Printables tribe. First up, I can see this Frontier by Mads Minis. Now, I remember seeing this last month when it was in the pre-release stage, where it just had a bit of a teaser about it. From what I recall, it's a one large model, the Saints EU_MRHM, 48mm in height, or approximately 19 inches. So it's this huge model which can also be used as a centerpiece for your army. So it looks like we've got this large mech suit with the pilot clinging on the outside. I've seen there's two versions, one with a closed cockpit and one where the cockpit hatch for the mech is open. Battle damage, so lots of variants and a variety of different sizes for this model. And the campaign is live until Thursday the 30th of April. Now we have a Frontier from Nova Minis. I've seen some of their Frontiers before. This is Fort Redstone, which looks like a large 3D printable castle, boasting 9 playable levels, fortress and wall. Campaign is live until the 27th of April. So it's boasting 9 playable levels across 2 structures. Got the dimensions given here, sounds like a very big model. Moving parts, operational parts, compatible with magnets, so it can sort of snap together. Can be FDM printed or resin printed. And we have a video as well, so let's have a little look at that. actually looks really nice. Big fan of that, actually. Next we have Relics of the Old Gods, a Lovecraftian idol collection by NS Miniatures. This campaign is live until the 26th of April, and it looks like, yeah, models of the old gods, your classic Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, Cthulhu, there he is. The Sleeper Beneath the Abyss. Collection of these miniatures, statues, or no, relics, so it's more like, I guess, totems or items that one might have on display or hand out to your players if you were playing, for example, a Call of Cthulhu game. Another Frontier by Nova Sci-Fi, which I believe is part of the Nova Minis brand. Yeah, you can see by the YouTube channel there. It looks like a sci-fi base, the off-world habitat, home away from home. If I know anything about Nova, it's going to be modular, it's going to have playable interiors. This is live until April the 27th. Let's have a little look at the images, what we got. Yeah, I imagine this would print beautifully in FDM as well. I think most of their stuff is very FDM safe and compatible. Oh, interior scatter terrain. Always enjoy seeing that. And we have a YouTube video as well. I'll take a brief look at this. Looks great. I wonder if, like, you have to have the configuration on the model. I wonder if it's modular enough that you could just branch out and build your own habitat. But no, that's a fun one. Now we have the Skull Taker Saurians from Frankantos Designs. Looks like a group of lizard men for a tabletop war game, skirmish game. This Frontier is live until April the 19th. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of different types of these lizard folk, these saurians that we get in the set. Doesn't say exactly which system it's designed for, but I know there's a lot of third-party systems out there which use lizard folk races, so this would act great for that. Got some really nice bases there, really like those designs, and a whole bunch of unlockable milestones which look very cool. This is Sons of God by Mutant Scum Miniatures. This is live until April the 24th, and it's a self-professed group of kitbash bits. So lots of bits for your space soldiers. I won't say any names. Let's have a look. What do we get? So we get torso parts, and it all... Oh wow, it really is modular. It goes shoulder, arm, lower arm, hand. Rather than pre-made arms, you're literally building every single piece. This is, I don't think I've seen anything quite as modular as this, not to this degree. Loads of helmet types. They do have a video, if you have a brief look. Nice, and a fun thing about that video, which demonstrates the having all the different degrees of modular breaking up along the arm, means that you don't just swap out different pieces, but it also gives you a lot more posing. So I guess articulation, for want of a better word, on the models, which, yeah, that's really neat. This is Trench Wasteland, Grimdark Sinewy Collection by Black Cobra Miniatures. This is live until April the 10th, so the deadline's getting a little bit closer. Looks like lots of FDM-friendly terrain, scatter terrain pieces, vehicles for whenever anyone uses the word trench in the product. I think we know what game they have in mind for this. Very dark aesthetic, grimdark, ruined cathedrals, industrial settings. Yeah, I know what game they want you to use this for. Again, I imagine this prints beautifully in FDM as well, which a lot of terrain does, but I'm sure you could print in resin as well. This is another one we saw last month when it was in the pre-marketing phase, the Crawler Hordes from Dragon Trapper's Lodge. It's an army of insectoids, I guess would be the best way to describe it, compatible with the one-page rules skirmish game. I imagine it's a full army. Yeah, 130 plus models, all pre-supported. A massive host of crawlers ready to swarm across your battlefield tables. I've said it before and I'll say it again, that's the thing I love about the OPR system, is that it gives other creators a chance to get involved and add, and it really does foster that sort of collaborative feeling between creators on the platform, which is great to see. I love the idea of creators making their own armies for this system. Just having a quick scan through some of these creatures. I love the design, like the lack of like eyes or a face gives it a very alien look, very believably organic. There are a lot of different miniatures here. I would spend ages if I was to scroll through and look at every single one of them. They've thrown in some terrain and objective markers as well, which is great. I think it's just a good opportunity that if you want to get into... hold on, I'll scroll back up to that image. If you want to get into the OPR game and you're looking for a new army that no one else has got, this is pretty brand new, so this is a great way to get on board and learn how to play the game. This is the Efreet Heavy Assault Personnel Carrier from Black Cat Cartel. I've seen lots of Black Cat Cartel work before. They do like their tanks and their vehicles and personnel carriers. High detail STL files, pre-supported versions and unsupported. And again, like Black Cat's previous things, these are all very modular, so you can swap out the weapons and yeah, customize your tank based on the parts that you get in the kit. Now this is a huge one. This is another offering from Dungeon Blocks. Dungeon Blocks have been on MyMiniFactory for ages. They've done so many different iterations and different themed skinned packs for the Dungeon Blocks brand. In fact, I've got a box behind me under my desk of stuff that I printed out that I need to paint at some point. If you haven't tried experimenting with Dungeon Blocks, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's an almost Lego-esque modular system where you have like a rack and you slot in all these pieces and you just build a dungeon. And they've released lots of different themed flavoured packs. This is Dungeon Blocks XL. So what makes it XL? Is it on a larger scale? Is it bigger? What's new? Giant columns. So yeah, it looks like it is on a bigger scale, so you can make larger spaces faster using the new XL tile sets. It's already doing very well. It's live until 9th of April, so from time of recording it's about a week left, 7 days. They have a video. Let's have a quick look at the video. Great, so it looks like it's a good way to sort of build up much larger, huge scale dungeons. Because like the original base set, this is stuff that I've printed out from the earlier waves, it is very more suited for individual rooms or little dungeon encounters where you have a few rooms that are connected up. But for something on this huge scale, this is exactly what you need. I could see you building something like, what's the word? What was the name of that particular pass in the Mines of Moria? The Bridge of Khazad-dûm, that's the one. It's giving me those vibes. But no, that's very fun. I can see myself playing with this. Again, we saw this last month when it was in the pre-marketing phase, but this is the Modern Stowage Mega Set for modern miniatures. And there's lots of backpacks and bits and bobs that you can put on top of your vehicles just to add on to Kit Bash and just bring a bit more life and character to your models. Yeah, there, see, before and after. Just breathes a little bit more life into it, makes it look a bit more real, lived in, and I guess it adds story as well, which is nice to see. And this is live until the 11th of April. Once more, we saw this last time. I can't remember if last time we saw this it was in the pre-marketing phase or if it was actually live, but it's live now, and live until the 30th of April. It's the Napoleonic Wars Armies Expansion Pack 1 from STL Army. Lots of historical models for the Napoleonic War, in a range of different scales, pre-supported and unsupported. It looks like that's Napoleon, the man himself, in that famous pose from that painting. Your French commanders, the British commanders. So you have your French army and your English army in this sort of very distinctive design. This was also live last month and is reaching the end of it now. 5 days to go, ends April the 7th. This is Terra Ultima. Talked about it a lot in the last video, but again, this looks like a skirmish game where you have different skirmish squads based on various deities that are sort of fighting together. And there's a whole game system associated with it that you can learn. Forgotten Relics of the Jungle. This was also in pre-marketing last month, so it's been promised for a while, but I've got in my notes here that this one is actually launching tomorrow as of day of recording, so tomorrow being the 3rd of April. So if the 3rd of April has passed by the time you see this, which it most definitely has, because I'm probably going to edit it tomorrow, definitely go back and have a look and see what this is about, because I am curious. This one is new to me, launching tomorrow, so that's April the 3rd. This is from Battleforge, set of 8 miniatures, which look to be very sort of like Valkyrie inspired. There's an almost sort of Norse vibe going on. Skirmish group of female warriors. Weapons that look like, I mean, I imagine it is more fantasy, but I think they could even pass with the glow on those weapons for sci-fi as well. I'm not sure what system they're meant to be used for, but I'm sure we'll get more information when the Frontier goes live tomorrow. This is Prehistoric Tanks from Dino and Dog, again in the pre-marketing phase, so not giving much away. Yeah, Prehistoric Tanks, rides for any 1-inch miniature. So yeah, this looks like if you want some sort of large creature to carry your infantry across the board and your game isn't technologically advanced enough to have tanks yet, you have these little, what would you call it, these mounts, these little structures on the back of these large animals for transporting your units, the War Mammoth, the Paraceratherium mobile tower, and a War Triceratops, and a Styracosaurus chariot. I am not good at names, but pre-supported and tested. And this, when does this go live? Let me look at my notes. This goes live April the 6th, so not long at all. This is Norse Orcs from, am I pronouncing this right? Agema miniatures. Norse Orcs in the digital format. So it looks like an Orc army with a Norse theme on top. Format for your tabletop fantasy football games. Okay, right. So I see that's what this is for. So they're going to be more themed towards those fantasy sport games that you get on tabletop scale. This, according to my notes, launches April the 7th. Not showing away too much just yet, but check back after the 7th to get more information on that. This is of Sorcery and Steel by Kyodor, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Kyodor Miniatures, again in pre-marketing at the minute. Launches April the 7th, and it looks like we've got 2 models here. This sort of like magey sorcerer looking guy with his staff, and then this very cyberpunk, almost Doc Ock style mecha arm guy. I guess that's why we're calling it Sorcery and Steel. We've got this mage guy, and this, you could almost call him a techno mage, I guess. I don't think these are designed for any specific system, but they're just core models for use in any game you want. So next we have The Whispers Below from One Page Rules, described as an all-new narrative campaign for Grimdark Future. So my understanding is Grimdark Future is this sort of like narrative campaign that's like an offshoot of the main OPR army skirmish game, if I'm interpreting this correctly, and that this is a new story, a new expansion. I recognise this robot guy here from... In fact, actually, I recognise both of these races from the larger OPR war game. 4 new hero models, 2 full Soviet armies featuring over 200 models, and more. Sign up and get 2 free minis today. I mean, if it's from OPR, you know it's going to be good. This is interesting. So it's a story. The expansion for Grimdark Futures takes players on an adventure across 10 missions which are tied together by an exciting story of epic proportions. And again, this launches April 9th, so be sure to come back and look after April 9th to learn more about that. That's fun. Next we have for Mr. Bits, Natural Enemy Volume 1, The Mind Eater versus the Astral Shifter. This launches on April the 9th, and from looking at it, it looks like we've got a model that's inspired by a Mind Flayer and a model inspired by a Githyanki, which, at least in Dungeons & Dragons lore, have always been arch enemies against each other. If I'm going to sort of extrapolate from the information that's here, I guess Natural Enemies Volume 1 is obviously these 2 races that don't like each other, and Volume 2 and on into the future we're going to see more pairs of figures of characters, creatures that are naturally on opposing sides in some sort of lore. So that's a fun theme to carry through with your various frontiers. This is Sordain Publishing with Pantheon's Silver Dragons, 14 beautiful Silver Dragon STLs. Again, in pre-marketing, so we don't see much yet. According to my notes, this one is due to go live on the 10th of April. 14 awesome brand new Silver Dragon STLs for your adventuring and storytelling pleasure, from cute and characterful wormlings to our massive awe-inspiring Great Worm, and a free Red Dragon Great Worm for all-in pioneers. So we get more information about the various tiers when that launches on the 10th of April. Black Cat Cartel just doesn't stop when it comes to these tanks. They are always coming out with something new. This is the Z41 Bane Mouse Super Heavy Tank. Again, we're looking at modular tanks with loads of different parts. You can make lots of variants by combining different bits. A What If vision where the legacy super heavy doctrine collides with the far darker future. The Z41 Bane Mouse embodies overwhelming mass, relentless pressure, and unapologetic firepower. Black Cat loves their tanks. This goes live on April 10th. This is the Dark Forest remake from Belxazar, if I'm pronouncing that correct, Belxazar Minis. So my understanding is that there are 3 original Dark Forest armies, and these are all being released as one, but they have completely remade the first set, upgrading it to their current level of quality. I guess maybe they thought that the models were a little outdated. But part of this as well, you're getting this epic miniature for D&D 5e. I imagine that's a PDF with like a whole one-shot or maybe miniature campaign built into it, using all the models that come in the set. And by signing up to follow the campaign, it looks like you're awarded a free miniature of this pterodactyl. And according to my notes, this one is going live on April the 15th. We're seeing lots of dragons this month. This is the Fire Dragonkin by Mad Mage Minis. We have a whole set of 5 unique models, all based around, fire dragons. So typically, I guess, red dragons, fire dragons. We've got large fire dragon, fire wyvern, wyvern rather, fire drake, fire lindworm, fire amphiter. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. All minis in the pack are pre-supported and come with 5e stat blocks. The connections are seamless for when you join together, so I guess it comes in multiple parts. Sign up now, you receive a 10% discount code and a free beholder miniature for Mad Mage Minis. According to my notes, this is meant to go live on April the 15th. But you can click here to get notified, and you get the beholder miniature if you want to sign up. So some very large, very cool looking dragons for Mad Mage Minis here. Again, I saw this last month. This is the Grim Dark Marionettes by Klaus Teschner, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Big fan of this. Not much more to say on top of this over what I said last month, other than it says here on my screen that this is going live on April the 23rd, so keep an eye out for that. And this is Red Mist Ley Lines by Triskelion Games. This is meant to be going live on April the 28th. This looks like it's a brand new skirmish game set in the Thinning Veil universe. So you've got a very sort of like Celtic, sort of Saxon, Viking-esque look here with like the round houses and the standing stone circles and, you know, these wooden walls and the round shields, very Celtic. Oh yeah, includes Celtic roundhouses, stockades and other terrain. Features 2 full warbands to get you started and a digital rulebook. So this is an entirely self-contained game, which we should be seeing on the 28th of April. And if you follow now and back, you get this exclusive Eldritch Orb Weaver miniature, which I believe is this one here in the corner of that picture. And I believe that's everything I see on my screen in terms of at least new frontiers that are coming up in the next month. So that about wraps it up for this video. Just to reiterate what I said on the top, obviously the big thing this month is we have Ludiverse. So if you are in Europe, more specifically France or the Paris area, do feel free to drop by on the 18th to the 19th of April. Tickets are still available, and just come say hello to us at MyMiniFactory. I'll be there helping to run the keynote speaker stage. We've got talks from loads of people, like I said at the top of the video. Go have a look, and if you're in the area, do drop by. But until then, see you around.